Okay, so imagine asking a friend to fake kidnap you, which already feels like a questionable life choice. But okay, everybody's committed. Masks, greenhouse, lights. A small problem though. You actually die. The decisions somehow get worse from here because their brilliant solution a shopping cart. Unfortunately, that's when the witness shows up. One accidental kick later, she's rolling downhill into a pond. And honestly, I thought they were finished. Except, apparently, death is more of a suggestion in this drama. I can't even. Because she just casually comes back, one guy just faints, and apparently, that isn't even the strangest thing happening in this town. Okay, so here's what you need to know. It's 1999. Y2K panic is everywhere. People genuinely think the world is ending. But while everyone else is preparing for the apocalypse, there's this code quietly growing in the background, one miracle at a time. Which already concerns me because 20 years earlier there was a scientist. This man, I don't know why, gets out of prison and immediately starts rebuilding his life, his previous life. Okay, first, our resident Chaos Gremlin. And honestly, this woman tells us exactly who she is immediately because she steals a child's ice cream, well, eats the whole thing, hands him the stick back, and leaves. Well, on paper, she has one of the coolest powers in the group. Teleportation, well, sounds amazing. Tiny problem though. She has absolutely zero control. Elevate heart rate, goodbye. One minute she's hiding in a hospital closet, next minute she's accidentally ruining someone else's historical drama setup in the hospital gown. Come on, nobody will question it. They blame production. Of course they would. Which honestly, fair girl. Just please stay in the century. But then things get weird. Jenny's just happy to be alive as usual. She's unaware that everyone else around her has some kind of crisis going on. I mean, honestly, very brand on. While all of this is happening, there's a guy, Black Hat, the one at the hospital watching, which I don't actually appreciate. Next, the florist. God's looking at this specific man and thought, let's make him stick to things. Because every time he lies or panics, his body exposes him immediately. Imagine lying and ending up attached to a refrigerator. And when he walks into the office, everyone hides, which tells me this is not their first rodeo. This man files complaints all day long, with diagrams, visual aids, which means he's actually committed. Years of experience, trauma, survival instincts. When he finally asks for the manager,
바로 이국장한테 훅 들이댈까?
one smile from Lee completely shuts him down. Karnak stopped responding. And then there's Robin. Oh my god, poor Robin. This man gets stronger when he's emotionally hurt. So after getting triggered by the florist, he throws that can, and then when he comes back home to investigate, he sees a hole in the wall and discovers another hole. And then there's him, Lee, the only normal person in this town, it seems. I mean, it kind of makes me immediately suspicious because everyone else is panicking and he's just, excited, watching, smiling, kind of being helpful. And I don't trust that at all. This man comes home. His apartment looks like a complete disaster. And instead of freaking out, he's just sitting down there, throwing his glasses on the table. Then he opens the folder from work about the chemical dumping, the floors previously complained about. And then the phone rings. He answers
제가 알아서 합니다.
one word, hangs up. Lights a cigarette, in which honestly, I wasn't emotionally prepared for. But then he opens the black folder and suddenly everything changes. Names, pictures, files. Patient 3972. Him. Which means this man wasn't watching by accident. I mean, he knew from the very beginning. And honestly, I knew something was wrong about him, but I just didn't want to be right. And Lee is literally chasing her through this entire thing, which is insane because I don't know how you're getting outpaced by someone with a heart condition and zero control over her powers. And then there's the cult, which somehow makes everything worse because those miracles, they're being performed by children from the illegal experiments 20 years ago. And apparently their recruitment strategy is miracles, followed by property damage, which feels less like evangelism and more like customer intimidation. Dr. Ha gets arrested, serves 20 years, gets out, finds some of those same kids, and apparently decides, you know what would fix everything? A cult. Sir, those kids need therapy, not a father figure, because somehow the man who destroyed their lives convinced them that he saved them. And I think that's the scariest thing in this entire show. And somehow Dr. Ha is also connected to her grandmother, which means this whole thing is way more personal than it looks. And by the end of episode 2, everything starts to fall apart. Somebody gets murdered, some secrets start coming out, which personally, they should have just kept them hidden. One of the cult members recognizes Flea, and that will have consequences later. And meanwhile, our teleportation Q's gremlin is stranded in another country, completely unaware that literally everyone is looking for her. Here's my theory. I don't think Dr. Ha spent 20 years in prison trying to move on. I think he spent 20 years waiting, because the second he gets out, he's starting looking for something or someone. And judging by the murders already happening, I don't think he's trying to create a miracle. I think he's trying to get one back.